Last month, I opened my banking app and tapped the one screen nobody ever taps. Interest earned year to date, $1.04. I had about 10 grand sitting in that account all year and my bank paid me $1.04. Meanwhile, that same bank in a single recent year made $92.6 billion off the gap between what it pays people like me and what it charges people like me. And here's the part that actually got under my skin. Everything I'm about to show you today was sitting in plain sight the whole time, on government websites, buried in my own benefits portal, written into the tax code in plain English. Nobody hid it in a vault. They just made sure the default path points the other way. Because this isn't really a video about savings accounts. This is a video about how the factory settings on your financial life are quietly costing you about a decade of your future, and how flipping 4 switches for free gets it back. My name is Nick, and I've spent way too much time reading IRS documents so you don't have to. If you've ever felt like the financial system was designed by someone who actively dislikes you, hit subscribe, because today we're going to reverse engineer the entire thing, run the real numbers, and figure out exactly how many years of your life are sitting on the table right now. Quick housekeeping before we start. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. This is math. Publicly available, slightly infuriating math. Also, when I say this strategy costs $0, I mean it literally. No course, no apps, no guy in a rented Lamborghini. Every single move in this video is a setting you change, a form you fill out, or a box you check. The cost is about an hour of your life and the mild existential discomfort of realizing you could have done this years ago. Deal? Deal. Let's start with the engine that makes the whole thing run. Here's the question almost nobody asks correctly. How long do you have to work before you can stop? Most people think the answer depends on how much you earn. It doesn't. It depends almost entirely on one number, your savings rate, the percentage of your take-home pay that you keep instead of spend. And the math behind this is so simple, it's almost offensive. If you spend everything you make, you can never retire. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 or $500,000. You will work until your body files a formal complaint. If you save 100% of your income, congratulations, you're already retired. And also, how are you eating? Everyone on earth lives somewhere between those 2 points, and where you sit on that line determines your entire working life. Back in 2012, a blogger called Mr. Money Mustache published what's basically the periodic table of personal finance. Assuming average market returns and a standard withdrawal rate, a 10% savings rate means you work for 51 years. 51, start at 22, retire at 73, hope your knees kept the receipts. Bump that to 15% and it's 43 years. At 25%, it drops to 32 years. At 50%, it's 17. Look at what just happened there. Going from saving 10% to saving 25% didn't shave off a couple years, it deleted 19. 19 years of alarm clocks gone and your salary never changed. That's the engine. Savings rate is the only lever in personal finance that pushes from both sides at once, because every dollar you don't spend grows your pile and shrinks the pile you need. Now, I can already hear you. Nick, I can't just save 25% of my income. I have a life. Fair. Completely fair. Which is exactly why the rest of this video exists, because the next 4 moves raise your effective savings rate without you eating instant noodles in the dark. They just stop other people from skimming it. Switch number 1, and this is the 10-minute one. Right now, Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo are paying 0.01% on their standard savings accounts, not 1%, 0.01. At the exact same time, FDIC-insured high-yield savings accounts are paying around 4%. Same insurance, same dollar, 400 times the interest. On a $10,000 emergency fund, that's the difference between earning $1 a year and earning $400 a year. The big banks are betting correctly that you'll never move it because the account you opened at 19 is still where your paycheck lands and switching feels like a chore. That bet, multiplied across a $1 trillion deposit base, is a meaningful chunk of that $92.6 billion I mentioned. Your laziness has a line item on their earnings report. Move the emergency fund, 10 minutes, done. Now, I'll be honest with you, $400 a year is not retiring you 10 years early. This is the appetizer. It matters because it's the same mechanism, the default quietly working against you, that we're about to find in much, much bigger rooms. Switch number 2. If your employer offers a 401k match, this is the highest guaranteed return available to any human being on the planet, and 1 in 4 workers is leaving it on the table. The average company match is around 4.6% of your pay, and the most common formula is 50 cents on the dollar up to 6% of your salary. Translation: you put in 6%, they hand you an extra 3% of your salary for free. That is a 50% instant return before the market does anything. There is no hedge fund on earth that delivers a guaranteed 50%. And yet, a massive study of 4.4 million workers found that 25% of employees don't contribute enough to get the full match, walking past an average of $1,336 per year. Nationwide, that's roughly $24 billion in free money every single year, just evaporating. Compound one workers missed match for 20 years, and it's about $43,000. And here's the detail that tells you this isn't a knowledge problem, it's a design problem. Among workers earning under $40,000, 42% miss the full match. Among workers earning over $100,000, only 10% do. The people who most need the free money are the ones the system makes it hardest to claim. So if you take one thing from this video, log into your benefits portal tonight and set your contribution to at least the full match. It's one form. The raise is immediate, okay? You're earning real interest, you're capturing free money,